Hi, my name is Courtney Snyder and I am a teacher in Southern California. I've been teaching for over 20 years and today I wanted to share with you some information about classroom management, and I'll give you a little bit of background knowledge about it and provide you some tips and information on how to implement wonderful classroom management procedures into your classroom. So let me begin by telling you a little bit about classroom management. Classroom management refers to a variety of techniques and strategies that a teacher uses to help keep students on task, engaged, organized, and ready to learn. When classroom management strategies are applied effectively and consistently, it creates an environment where students can learn to their utmost ability. So creating rules and routines. Every veteran teacher knows that classroom management is key to providing a classroom that allows students to engage and collaborate and learn together when there are rules that have been established. And the rules and the structure we put into class at the beginning of the year ensures that our students are going to be learning in an optimal environment. Though the teacher is the primary person to put rules into action, the class should have input on how they feel what they need in order to work in a classroom and make their classroom their own community. So I always suggest that you come together at the beginning of the year, you establish some of those ground rules, and then you speak to your students on how they feel they want to be treated in the classroom, how they feel the teacher should be treated in the classroom, and some of those rules that go along with that. So essentially, they're helping you create those rules that they feel are necessary, and you are going to be the one who's going to enforce those rules and provide them the feedback on how to consistently apply those rules in the class. Consistency. Consistency in the classroom is key. Students thrive in a structured environment. Establishing those rules and routines helps students to understand what is expected of them and of their peers. Students who are able to self-manage allows for more on-task work and instruction time, and it allows children to regulate their own behaviors and help regulate the behaviors of those around them. A classroom that lacks consistency will most likely be more chaotic and louder. So predictability is definitely helpful for children. When they know what is coming next and what is expected, they're able to do that transition on their own, and that helps improve your instructional time. All right, so after you have established your rules and your classroom norms, you can start to implement incentives and consequences. Incentives help students continue to be motivated to learn. Yes, we want our students to be intrinsically motivated to want to do well and succeed. However, it is a helpful tool to have small incentives that encourage that good behavior and keep your children on track and on task for continuing those good behaviors. Consequences should be established at the time when the rules are made. Now, what I like to do is speak to my students and ask them what sounds like a good incentive for you to want to do well, and what do you feel is an appropriate consequence. Allowing your children to still be included in that discussion of creating those rules and norms for your classroom makes it more equitable for everyone in the classroom, and those incentives and consequences are used for all students. It's not just going to be used for one or two students. Everyone is going to have the equal amount of incentives to learn and consequences for behaviors. One of the most important components of classroom management is building relationships with your students. Your classroom will become your community, and you want students to be happy and a part of that community. So a few ways to create that welcome community of learners is greeting your students each morning. I like to greet my students at the door. We shake hands, we do a high five, we fist bump. I say good morning to each and every one of them. We also, in our classroom, share good news. Every day we take about 3 to 5 minutes to share good news. They can be little things that happen to them the night before or the morning of, but something that just lets them share a part of their world with their classroom community. Another good way to create that community is just spending quality time with your students. I know we have a busy day, I know we have curriculum, and I know we have other things to do, but just sitting down and having conversations with our students really opens up those lines of communication so that they are more willing to come to you and talk to you and share with you things that happen in their lives or things that are happening in the classroom. Celebrate accomplishments and allow others to enjoy their classroom of peers, and just let everyone know that you're happy that they're there and you're happy to be a part of their learning journey. The last thing I want to talk about is modeling. In our classroom, model all the behaviors that you would like your children to do. Model respect. Treat them with respect so they'll treat you with respect. Model how to listen, making eye contact, facing them, taking the time to sit and listen to what they have to say. Hopefully in return, they'll do the same when you're speaking and you're teaching. Create those open lines of communication that allow for respect and understanding, and model how to act within the classroom. If you don't want your students chewing gum, you as a professional should not be chewing gum. You don't want your children getting up, interrupting, then you need to give them the same respect when they're speaking or working in their classroom. So model all the behaviors you would like your students to do inside the classroom. I hope some of these ideas and some background information on classroom management help you. Just so you know, every year, even after 20 years, I'm still learning new techniques, and sharing different ways with your coworkers and your peers is a great way to get new and fresh ideas. And also, you'll learn from your students just like they're learning from you. Thanks for listening.